There's debt, there's destruction.
Global news impacts us.
We have to change the way we live. This is why we need independent media. Cheers and salutations. Welcome to another fun episode of Hard Lens Media. And this is going to be a fun episode because normally we interviewing activists, politicians, candidates, other content creators in independent media, journalists, etc. But I'm proud to bring back a guest that was incredibly awesome the first time we had him on air. And we're going to bring him back here again. You may have noticed in some of our shows and interviews, we play the end credits song or one song from Jett's newest album that came out called Everyone Who Disagrees With You Is an Extremist by Jett. So I want to bring in the author, the musician himself. Ladies and gentlemen, he's part of Indie News Network. He's a musician. He's an activist. He's done a lot of great work. Shout out to Jett. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
It's great to have you back on. I know you've been doing a lot of great stuff with the Indie News Network, but I've been getting a couple messages from a few people who have been asking, what is this album? Everyone Who Disagrees With You Is an Extremist. I mean, first of all, I mean, and you know what? You're just not going to give us a short answer, buddy, because I've been playing your songs
I don't do short answers,
not only on our live stream shows, but for our shows also on Can TV. And, you know, let's face it, whenever we do an interview or anything else of that nature, I want to play, a song. I played Depop Culture. That's the one I've been playing the most. But I've also played a few others, which are, and I want to make sure I give a shout out to them, Apple Model 3, Slave Collar, Buying the Theft, Skin Suits, and Blocking the Light. And I have to say, it's pretty awesome.
That's the whole record. That's it.
Yeah, that's the whole record. So from beginning to end, what inspired you to create this album and the songs individually too? So don't hold anything back.
Oh, nice. All right. You know, it all started like I knew I had a few little instrumentals I was working on, a couple choruses, especially the one for Depop Culture. That melody I've had for a while. There was the infamous press secretary quote when they were asking about, the new guidelines for what constitutes domestic extremism. And she said, when you aren't with, and this is what I love about this quote, is that it's so clunky. She kind of stumbles through the sentence, and that's such a great encapsulation of the Biden administration. Is brand new, very strict rules, and they're kind of slurred in their delivery, or they make very little sense at some point. But she said, when you aren't with where the majority of people are, that's extreme. That's an extreme way of thinking. Mm-hmm. And that was the answer. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, there's my album title. Everyone Who Disagrees With You Is an Extremist. That immediately I was like, I'm going to sample the shit out of that line, and I'm going to use that. And that features on the last track on Blocking the Light, mm-hmm. which that song is much more personal than a lot of stuff I write. That one was tough to record. Blocking the Light was kind of about, when I have a son that's 6, and he's asking questions about society and the world. And I want to give him honest answers, but not as honest as I know the answer to actually be, because I don't want to, make his head explode. And so the kind of struggle of how honest to be, I don't want to give him the wrong idea about, who the police protect, for instance, and things like that. But I also don't want to give him too much too soon. And then it makes me start wondering, am I really all that better off for what I know about everything? Are there times I wish I could just undo it and go back to the blissful ignorant days when, and so then there's just a lot, of, I
actually would like to interject here real quick. Mm-hmm. I mean, are there moments, because I've actually caught myself a few times, and I think really when I fully stepped into realizing that we're in a neoliberal nightmare was when Daniel and I left the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia when Hillary Clinton was named the nominee and during the 2016 mm-hmm. primary. And I was like, there's a 50-50 chance Donald Trump's going to pull this thing off. I really walked out. I was like, it's 50-50. She can do this. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because mm-hmm. did you ever really find yourself a moment where you want to go back into being like, I'm not politically aware, I don't care? Because there's some moments where I have thought like, I
There
wonder
are
how it
moments
would be if
I wonder what it'd be
I,
like, you
yeah,
know?
if I
Um,
remained the same. So go.
because it can be, as anyone that knows, once you know, you can't unknow, and that knowing that can be awfully isolating. There's actually a piece on the record I'm working on right now that I'm putting out in about 10 days.
Oh hell yeah.
That is that was about a conversation I had with my dad about Ukraine, and us hitting this wall where I realized, like, the more I try to explain the situation, the crazier I'm going to sound. And I have those kind of exchanges with a lot of people, but when it's family, that's difficult, because you feel like you're almost doing someone a disservice by not trying to inform them and tell them what that to be true. But you find yourself at an impasse with people sometimes, and there are moments like that where it's like, gosh, imagine just the conversations I'd be able to listen to people have at work that I'm not like biting my tongue throughout. Mainly movies and stuff, movies and music. It's so different afterwards. What I see, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that's fucking propaganda. That's brand placement. You can't stop doing that. Trying to turn that off is
Exactly.
hard. And there's times I was like, gosh, I'd love to be able to just sit through a movie and not see those little things pop up. But on the whole, I wouldn't go back. So then it begs the question of, how do I ease my child into a realistic understanding of the world they're growing up in without bombarding them with that knowledge. And that's what Blocking the Light came from, was kind of knowing that that's inevitable. And yeah, that was a tough one to record. That's one of a few songs. If I get really emotional during a song, which if it's emotional subject matter, I do, I don't try to like edit that out. And in fact, in Blocking the Light, to conserve space when recording, if I finish a verse and there's a chorus coming up, I'll stay on that same track and put a harmony on. So the low harmony in Blocking the Light is on that same track as the verse. And right after the verse, I just lost it. So the second time that the press secretary clip plays, if you listen closely, you can hear just this hard sobbing before I try to pull my shit together, take a deep breath, and then do the low harmony. And that's why the low.
Oh, hold on. Let's try and get a signal back, because I think you are frozen. So let me go ahead and remove, and hopefully we'll have it back on. So real quick, while we get that signal fixed, I do want to address just a couple of things here for everyone watching. All right, hold on. All right. There he is. Hold on. There we go. All right,
We're back. Okay.
all right, we're
Sorry about
back.
that.
We're back. The gremlins are playing. So there you go. What I did want to address is, at least in regards to, because I want you to continue on, because you did pause here. What I wanted to address to the audience, especially when it comes down to having these conversations about, hey, Democratic lawmakers are not different than Republican lawmakers, because big pharma, the healthcare insurance industry, all the top 1%ers, private equity, they control our politicians, and the same people who control our politicians control our media. They dictate what we can see and hear. And the thing is, if the American people really knew what, I don't know, the Obama administration or the Clinton administration really did to us, because they're the ones who deregulated a lot. I mean, it's easy to vilify people like George Bush Jr. and the Trump administration, who did deplorable things too. But I think if people really just saw how screwed up both parties are, everyone would be screaming bloody murder. Because when you vote Democrat, it's no different than voting Republican.
Exactly.
So before you were frozen, I want you to continue on what you were going to say.
Oh, I think that was essentially it. Was that that song? I got choked up finishing the verse, and I just kept it in. I tried, if I can let it out for a minute and then pull my shit together and do the harmony. That's what I did. So that's all one take. And if you listen close, that second time the press secretary clip plays, you can hear me kind of break down, take a breath, sniff, and then do the harmony, which is why it's a little shaky. But I'd rather it be an honest representation of especially that kind of feeling, that kind of dilemma, but other than that, the rest of the album was just kind of, what I was seeing go on day to day. And especially the stuff on this upcoming record is an awful lot of was written directly after the East Palestine derailment. And
Yeah.
It's hard not to focus on that, because it's if we let that get lost among the news, we'll let anything go. Then they know that we will let fucking anything past. And
if any, because the way you just worded that right now, if we let that go, I mean, they'll let anything pass. But I think unfortunately, Roger Meadows brought this up in the live stream chat, but the government, the media can easily distract people with celebrity drama.
Oh yeah.
Or keep us too broke to care, to have us work. And I'm not a fan of this whole work. You get close to God. That puritanical logic is BS. Because what's everyone's regret on their deathbed? I wish I didn't work so much. And then you die. Life is supposed to be enjoyed. I get that people got to work. I get it. It's not me being lazy here. But spending 8 hours every single day of every day for the rest of your life at a job where you make no impact whatsoever, where you're just a number, that's not life. It's not living.
And you know what? Going back to what I said about hearing ads differently, hearing movies differently, and everything, you notice in a lot of radio ads, when they're trying to sell you a product, they try to sell you the free time you will get from it, and they use sounds of kids laughing, and they talk about being with your family, spending more time with the people that matter, the people you care about. That is such a constant thing in advertising now, because they know that's what we're being deprived of really rapidly. And it's the one thing everyone is desperate for, is just some fucking downtime and some time to be with your family and not be worried about how you're going to feed them and how you're going to pay your rent.
I got the perfect commercial for you. If you ever want to use this for a sound clip for for a funny song, if you ever want to use it, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take Fuck It All. Fuck It All is a pill that'll help you relax and enjoy time. Are you feeling depressed and alone? Well, take the pill Fuck It All so you can enjoy time with your family and friends. So you can finally bring the humorous self, your old you, back to the dinner table, to the park where you're playing ball with your kids, or on a dinner date. Fuck It All may cause some problems such as blindness, deafness, the lost ability to taste, the ability to even move out of your bed, depression, suicidal thoughts, and so much more. But if you need to enjoy life, take Fuck It All. Fuck It All can also cause erectile dysfunction as well.
And so much more. But wait, there's more side effects.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, that's so good. Oh God.
This is a family-friendly show. We're family-friendly all the time. Enjoy time with your family with Fuck It All. But because there's a couple of things I want to ask more, because I do want to talk about one song in particular that really resonated with me, and that is Depop Culture. I like that. That one I play the most because it's really good, right? But I want to return back to the conversation with family and friends and trying to at least acknowledge or talk about, like, hey, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. And I've been developing this tactic for some time now, and that is just giving hints. Like, if someone's asked me how I'm going to vote, I say I vote third party, I vote independent. Or somebody asks what do you think about this politician, I'm like, they're a scumbag, just like this politician.
Yep.
I leave people wanting to know more. Like, if come to me if you want to know more. And I think that's how, because if we start bombarding people with so much information, they're going to look at us shocked, because normal Americans are unaware of just how screwed it is. I mean, Obama, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, has a kill record.
Yep.
Led us from 2 wars to 7, got rid of habeas corpus. Yes, folks, habeas corpus, habeas corpus. So there you go. He allowed the people responsible for 2008 economic recession to get away with it. No one was held accountable for that.
Yep.
And then let's talk about also fancy Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, which is really Romney Care, which came from the Heritage Foundation. The same Barack Obama, who is part of the Democratic establishment. And I think you just got to give those subtle hints when you're talking to people. Have you ever had a chance, like, where you're talking to people about, hey, neoliberalism, or how our politicians are bought? Like, eventually they start saying, like, hey, I didn't know this, or I didn't know that.
And I find it's easiest if you don't talk about, am I cutting out again?
Yeah, you were paused there for a minute, buddy. But there you go. You're good. You're good. You're
Okay,
good.
cool. If you talk about what politicians don't, which is policy, then you can be on the same page with so many people until you bring up a political party or a particular politician. As soon as you bring up a good distraction point, but yeah, it's easy to find common ground talking with people about what we need and how they're getting.
And okay, I think the internet gremlins are screwing around here. So real quick, Jesse, once you get the gremlins fixed, we'll bring you back on here because I do want to talk more about his album. And again, for those of you who are unaware, again, it's called "Anyone Disagrees with You is an Extremist," because we got to stand up against neoliberalism. So hold on, back at it on the stream. Here you go, Jesse. You got
we got about 6 inches of snow last night. It seems like every time we get heavy snow, then I have difficult connections the next day.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in West Michigan.
Yeah.
I
don't. You're right over there.
We got dumped on last night.
It's Justin Trudeau and the sky gods giving all the little snow babies to you guys.
Yep.
All right, so I want to talk about another song of yours on here, and it's called Depop Culture.
Yeah,
there's the feds in your head. Straight to the fed went straight to your head. Wait. No. I got that wrong. I got it wrong. Buying the theft.
Yeah.
Buying the theft. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Okay. Buying the theft is in my head. So there you go. But Depop Culture. Let's just talk about Depop Culture there for a second there. And then we'll talk about buying the theft.
You know what? Depop Culture, it was like a conscious decision of trying to do a few little more pop friendly vocal things in it, which is why there's some little for lack of a better word, I call them like Father John Misty moments, just kind of like the little like kind of vocal ad lib things.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like that, man.
And it really does really heavy subject matter. I was like, I wanted these songs to be kind of earwormy and upbeat and a little more, head nodders. And so I really leaned into that hard on this song, and largely in part to you guys giving it so much. It's now my top streamed song on Spotify for the last couple months. So yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I said we're gonna have some fun because I know last time we had you on, I think we kind of put you on the spot for singing and everything else. So obviously, because there's some technical issues, with your permission, I like everyone to sit back and relax and enjoy Depop Culture. If you would like to play a guitar a song of yourself too, let us know. And we'll have you at the ready.
We can give it a shot. If you see if I have some connection issues, then we can call it. But while I'm I just happen to have it right here. So
okay. Well, if you got something brewed for us right now, screw the machine. I think live. Hold on, I'll give you the whole floor. And if the internet gremlins allow it, let's have Jesse.
Fingers crossed.
Here. Fingers crossed. Let's get something good. Let's get something brewing.
While we were talking about it, let's do Depop Culture.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, you safe. You safe.
Oh no. Hang on, folks. He'll be back. The internet gremlins are screwing us over. Hold on. We'll get that set up. Keep at it, Jesse. Keep on playing. Back.
I guess this is such an awful place. What you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Fresh off the mass, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat, a couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. They just breathe in the steam and the smoke. The paint's all lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. See, the cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. It's worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal, who will swallow us whole. And it's ripe for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. Now I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision, a natural fission of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who'll listen. See, that little bluebird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants, trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide after they root for your purse, after they read all your texts, after they raid your apartment and all of its contents. Find up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. See, historically, they will come for the communists. Why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence, who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She is wheeled out the door and next in line for the pharmacist. God, if you could get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. See, it's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and it's only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like, off with his.
All right, shout out to Jesse. We hopefully the internet gremlins won't be interfering too much, but I think
still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, you say?
I think we did pretty good.
It was real touch and go there for a while.
It was a little bit touch and go, but we did it. I think it was awesome. Okay. All right.
Thanks for bearing with me, Jett.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I want to make sure in case anyone's coming in, what's going on? Why is there silence? Why is there silence? Don't worry, it's all good, folks. And like I said, we're having ourselves an awesome show here, and I get to do whatever I want. Because guess what? I'm in charge right now, and I got none of my other co-hosts here with me. So the king is nuts. I've gone mad with power. So there you go. There you go. And why? Because I successfully took 2 pills of fuck it alls.
So did my internet today.
Yeah, the internet. Hey, yeah, or either that, you could be like old Georgie boy from the Guardian, who wrote an article about Russell Brand saying, "Oh, politics might take a dark turn in the next few years, and it might be because of Russell Brand." Like, really?
God.
Russell Brand's going to ruin American politics? I think our politicians are doing the job just fine.
Yep.
I think they're the ones doing it just fine. So I think while we still have some time, I want to talk about one last song, and that is Buying the Theft. The Fed is in your head. Why is the Fed went straight to your head?
Oh, that section at the end, that was just one of those. I really wanted something that kind of got in your head, that really just repeated and became this kind of mantra for the end of that piece. And then like layering vocals, and I love doing that. And yeah, that was just a really good representation to me of people who a few years ago were so astute at spotting the Fed. Now they're just, unhinging their jaw to eat all this propaganda. Like seeing people cheering on Debbie Wasserman Schultz yesterday, I felt like I was just in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
it's insane. It
what
literally
the
is
heck?
How short are people's memories that they don't remember 2016, they don't remember 2020. Like it's mind-blowing. It really is. It's yeah.
Well, okay. So for those who don't know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the head of the DCCC. The DCCC in 2016, the Democratic Central Chair Committee, or Democrat. Yeah, I think that's it, right? DCCC, Democratic. Yeah. So they're the ones who were working alongside the Clinton campaign that helped deny Bernie Sanders to get the nomination. And let's face it, the Democratic Party was lifting up Mount Olympus to shut down polling stations, lack of paper ballots, election machines not working properly. I mean, everyone wants to talk about, the general election was rigged. No. No, because if anyone wants to talk about popular vote in this country, popular vote means nothing here in America.
Yeah, we don't have it.
The Electoral College supersedes the popular vote. So that means if certain states turn red or blue and the Electoral College numbers are there backing them up, Electoral College wins. I don't care who wins popular vote. Now, in theory, in a normal democracy, in a normal republic, popular vote means you win. But Electoral College says no. That's not how it does. And Electoral College is an antiquated system, and we all can thank slavery for that one. So well done, politicians. Hey, Democrats, how come you never got rid of the Electoral College? Oh, wait, too busy letting Roe v. Wade die under their watch. I know. Oh, yo. So there you go. So I just find it interesting that people do go to bat for politicians, both Democrat or Republican, because both politicians, both political parties are scumbags. So when it comes down to writing music, especially in this charged political environment, while we still have some time for the show, is there ever a moment like where you're writing these songs and you're thinking, is this going to resonate to people? Will people catch on? Will there be a spark? Because there seemed to be a spark, a political movement, I guess in the 60s and 70s, we see that, but then everything's getting co-opted, everything's being corporatized. Now you're being told what you could see and hear. And, we talked about that earlier, because I want to talk about one show in particular that really captured my mind. And that was in 2020, I think late 2019, 2020, when Amazon had season 2 of Jack Ryan, and there was a crisis in Venezuela, and there was a coup that needed to be taking place there. Yep. And I remember this line that, what's it? Jack Ryan. Who's the actor that plays it?
Oh, yeah,
John Krasinski was playing Jack Ryan, right? And he says, the reason why you won't hear about a nuclear Venezuela is because you'll be dead. We'll be dead. Like, what? I'm sorry, what? And in the opening scene of it, in the opening scene of the first episode, he's talking about like if you're not aware of what's happening, the show is trying to tell you you're a smart person, but also telling you that you're a dumb person too. They're spoon feeding you, like Jack Ryan says, and it's in Venezuela that this stuff is happening. It's like the audience is like, yeah, I knew it, Venezuela. Like, fuck out of here. Frig out of here. Like, again, the coups are all taking place here. All these, it's madness and stupidity. So,
just like there was a show recently. What was the show that there was some cop drama and there was like a bag of fentanyl, and the lady's like, "Don't touch that. If that bag bursts, everybody in this room is dead." It's fantastic.
You'll OD on smoking weed.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, before I restate my question, because I want to ask you again. But before we do you remember? Or were you old enough when you were a kid when they had to dare stuff come to your classes or anything like that? Okay. Did they ever show you that film where all the Saturday morning cartoon characters were telling you don't do drugs and anything like that? Do you remember that
No,
old
but
school?
I have seen that footage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have an ongoing canon story in my head where it's like all those cartoon characters that were there had misdemeanors or had to do that for community service. Like Michelangelo,
I love it.
Michelangelo. I gave him the most non-violent one. He was caught with like 10 pounds of cannabis. All right. But you know, again, he was the only Ninja Turtle that showed up. He was the only Ninja Turtle that was in there. Raph wasn't there. Donatello, Leonardo, Splinter, none of them were there. None of those boys were there. Only Mikey. So Mikey got caught. And Mikey had to do the other characters probably like drunk driving, you know, solicitation and so much more. You know, they did probably some more like I forget. God, I gotta get the name of that movie down. So, anyways, back on point. I told you we're gonna have a fun episode. It doesn't always have to be gloom and doom and serious. So okay, but this is actually gonna be serious here, though. When you're writing these songs, when you're working on these albums about political events, current events, is there ever a point where like you're hoping that resonates with people, that there's going to be that spark that's going to set people off? Like eventually, what more does it have to take? Because Flint, Michigan doesn't have clean drinking water.
Yeah.
The state of Hawaii, the people's underground drinking waters was contaminated. Chicago doesn't have a clean drinking water. We have lead in our drinking water. The industrial facilities in Indiana are dumping quote unquote regulated toxic waste into Lake Michigan. Look what happened to the people of East Palestine, Ohio. And not to mention inflation's on the rise. Like, what more does it take? And when you're writing songs, is there ever like that breaking point? Like, I don't know if I could do this.
You know, there have been absolutely moments. I feel like I'd be lying if I said there weren't times where I'm like, do I have it in me to keep doing this? You know, but it doesn't take much in the way of
the gremlins are having control again of the internet, which is a shame. Don't worry. We'll get Jett back on. We'll get him back on. We'll have him restart again. Reset Jesse. But for those of you who don't know, hold on. Here we go. All right. He's back. He's back again. There we go. Yes, you're back again, buddy. Curse the gremlins.
Oh, man. I was trying to remember what I was saying.
Start all over again.
It doesn't take much of feedback from someone that like really connected with the song to feel like that's all it needs. I'm not trying to like change people's minds. If I keep people engaged and keep that fire lit, because I know what the burnout is like, and we all do. That to have some from the feedback I've gotten from people, it's nice to have music that doesn't like talk down to them, that understands what we're up against, and just kind of keeps you motivated. There was feedback I got from someone recently who had mentioned that my music was kind of the first thing in a while that like connected with her, and after some serious loss that she had suffered. And it's like that alone, I was like, okay, there's 3 more albums I can write. You know, it doesn't take much to people that have reached out that like live in a fairly rural area and don't have a lot of people they can talk to about those things, to, you know, they're like hearing someone that gets it, you know, is important. So that's kind of who I do it for. I feel like at this point I have enough close friends and people that I am lucky enough to have support my music, that as long as we're in this shit show, I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. I'm going to. So yeah, there are the moments where it's tough. It's easier sometimes than others. But I don't see myself stopping, even if I wanted to.
All right. Hell yeah, dude. And you shouldn't. And I encourage everyone, look, if you want to make an impact, there's many ways you can. Like, for example, we talk about supporting citizen ballot initiatives on the show, abolishing political parties, getting money out of politics. And it's one thing to do a show like this, but also, hey, it also takes a lot of courage to do through call for change through music, art, and that's something that can be done. And Jesse, I think your albums really resonated with me. Looking forward to your new one that's coming out. So as soon as that happens, I'll be glad to play it at the end credits for our show.
Awesome.
Because,
it's going to be
curse the internet gremlins again. Curse the internet gremlins again. I also want to shout out here in the live stream chat here real quick. So hold on. We'll remove Jesse. We'll bring him back in. But apparently the show, the movie I was referencing was called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. and I just found the plot of it right here. Shout out to my team. The plot of the movie chronicles the exploits of Michael, a young teenage boy who's using cannabis, as well as stealing and drinking alcohol. All right, who hasn't done that? His younger sister, Corey, is worried about him because he started acting differently, which becomes a concern for their parents, who's also noticing his changes. When Corey's piggy bank goes missing one morning, her cartoon toys come to life to help her find it. After discovering it in Michael's room and his stashed drugs, they proceed to work together to do an intervention to take him on a fantasy journey to teach him the risk and consequences a life of drug abuse can bring. Man, screw those cartoon toys. Jesse, you were frozen in time again, buddy.
I was going to say the next album is going to be spoken word pieces. That's going to be 10 days out on the 20th, Spring Equinox. The record is called And Then the Sky Slammed Shut. And awful lot of commentary on the ecological disasters that we've been subjected to for the last few weeks. So
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So there you go. I just wanted to say, man, it's been a real privilege to have you on the show here. But real quick, I just want to just end this on a humorous note. Have a funny thing to laugh at, because you know what? I remember this movie, and for some reason, I just think it's absolute BS now. But it's called Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue. Hold on. Yes, we're gonna share it with everyone watching. Yes, this is it. This is the movie. And so so here's the thing. Michelangelo's not in it, right? But I think he got arrested for carrying like 10 pounds of cannabis. You got the DuckTales triplets there. They were arrested for carrying cocaine. But Scrooge McDuck got them out in order to be part of this movie. Alvin and the Chipmunks, music, stage, disaster. That's all we want to say there. Winnie the Pooh.
That's amazing.
The less said about him, the better, okay? The studio
Kermit, Garfield, and Winnie the Pooh. That's just throwing me right there. What a triple threat.
I know. They're all there. And I think they all have some sort of criminal record, and they're doing it something for community service. That's the only reason why they're showing up.
Racketeering. All three.
Yes, racketeering. That's perfect. Alf, he's in there for association with the mob. So there you go. He's doing that because he cut a deal with the FBI. So there you go. All right, buddy. It's been real good to have you on. So I just want to ask you one question though. From your song, from your album, everyone disagrees with you as an extremist. Which one stands out as your favorite? Because I'll play that as the end credit.
Oh man. I gotta say, Blocking the Light. I think the one that gets the sample of hers, the one about talking to my kid about the world. It's the one for me.
Done deal.
Thank
Jesse,
you so much, man.
If people want to follow you online and social media, where can they go? And while we're pulling that up, I want to make sure.
Jesse Jett, Spotify.
There you go.
Bandcamp, Spotify. It's all Jett. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So Jesse Jett. So there you go. Make it happen. If you're not following Jesse Jett, follow him on social media. What's wrong with you if you're not doing that? Until then, folks, until then, I want to thank all of you so much for tuning in and joining us here at Hard Lens Media. We do our show every day. We're always glad to have different people, different perspectives on our show. So here we are ending the show with Blocking the Light from Jesse Jett. Hey, buddy, keep speaking truth to power. And now more than ever, let us all do what we can to build a better future. And I told you all this would be a fun show. This would be a fun, different episode for today. Take care and peace.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
what's left of my mind are trying to tell you so. I've tried to block the light, I knew you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands, I'm trying to keep you close, trying to keep you close. I really want to set you free, but I really want to let you be. And a part of me wished I could set myself aside, just let you take the ride, just chalk the rest up to destiny. I could let you believe that the only restraints in life are the size of your dreams. Let you believe each kid grows up with the world at their feet. When I know too well it's open season, I know they're taking stock and raising stocks and raising stock. And I'm simply not here to sit and watch as you learn the lesson all cogs are taught. Keep your head down and keep to task and just keep on blocking the rest of it all out. Just keep on with the rest of the herd of a million adjacent oblivious workers. The forest unseen for the trees, and the trees unseen for the fallout. No, what's more damning, baby, the truth or the ignorance? Fuck it, I honestly wonder if I see the answer so well. Baby, believe me well, I know it's scary, I scare myself. If I could find a way out of my head, I would run like hell. I would ditch this body politic, mindless occupant somewhere far from the dismal abyss. In the tranquil crystalline bliss of the beach, I could rest with the rest of the shells. And if anyone asks I'm anywhere else, if I'm really needed, just light the candle, then read the book, and then ring the bell. Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul, this world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth and then demand 1,000-fold. It's full of greedy pigs who'll eat you out of house and home. They'll strip your bank account and sweep you somewhere down the road, and then return to eat your tent and shitty bike you rode. Your bottled water, only shoes and coat and broken phone. Then smiling in your face, they'll tell you that the shelter's closed.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, you know, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
Hoped you would never find out, knew that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind out, trying to tell you so. I tried to block the light, I knew you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands out, trying to keep you close, trying to keep you close.
Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul, this world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth, then demand 1,000-fold. I tried to block the light just so I could keep you close.
Welcome to the World Economic Forum's training video for new Ministry of Truth hires. It's all in the delivery. In this lesson, you will learn how to make horrible things sound normal. Digital IDs. Never say the words surveillance, control, or social credit systems. Instead ask, wouldn't it be nice to have the freedom to leave home without your wallet? Unpeopling. Rather than use the word depopulation or overpopulation, say freeing up traffic. Pose the question, wouldn't the earth be beautiful without all of these people in the way? Perhaps you could finally get a table at that tapas restaurant you've been wanting to try. Yum! 15-minute cities. Don't say words like segregated neighborhoods or discriminatory policing of public spaces. Instead say, creates a healthy buffer between races and classes. This video has been brought to you by Soil and Steaks. Soil and Steaks, for the elite cannibal with a conscience.